Geometry, Unit 6, which is Chapter 4 from the book, Section 6. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. We can abbreviate that because we'll use it later as CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So if triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, that means angle A is congruent to angle D, angle B is congruent to angle E, angle C is congruent to angle F. I also then know AB is congruent to DE, BC to EF, then AC to DF. So again, if triangles are congruent, the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. CPCTC. So if these two triangles are congruent, angle A is congruent to angle C, angle B to angle D, angle D to angle B, and then AB, CD, BD to DB, oh, I marked it, AD to CB. Okay, so let's look at these two problems. It's asking us, this first one is asking us, is AB equal to BD? Well, it's not marked, so right now I don't know. But I do know I can say BC is congruent to BC because it's reflexive. So both triangles now have BC being congruent. I can now state that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DBC by hypotenuse leg. Now the triangles are congruent, thus corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. AB has to be congruent to BD. So here's the next problem. Is angle B equal to angle E? Right now it's not marked, but I do know vertical angles are congruent. That gives me enough information to say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEC by angle side, which now since I have corresponding parts of congruent triangles, they have to be congruent. So angle B has to be congruent to angle E. So this next one is AB equal to DC. Well, let's look at this. Looks like we've got hypotenuse leg. So triangle CBA is equal to, look at the order that I go in. So let's go in that same order. Triangle EDC by hypotenuse leg. So is AB equal to DC by CPCTC? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. It is. Is AE equal to CE on this next problem? Well, let's see what we've got. We don't have those marked, but we do have parallel lines. Thus, alternate interior are congruent. Alternate interior are congruent. I can now prove these triangles are congruent. So triangle ABE is congruent to triangle, so ABE, look at the way I'm going, CDE by angle side angle. So I've proved the triangles are congruent. Is AE congruent to CE? Well, look, AE, CE, so yes, they are congruent. So let's look at this diagram we've got here. Is angle A, we're given angle A is congruent to angle E. Is BE equal to CE? So we've got a fairly complicated looking diagram here, but let's make it a little bit easier. I'm going to look at this triangle and then this triangle. So I'm going to redraw those, make my life a little bit easier. B, A, E, A, D, E. These are marked as congruent. We're told angle A is equal to angle E. And then we also know, hey, look, AE is congruent to AE. I now have side angle side. So triangle ABE is equal to triangle EDA by side angle side. So is BE congruent to DE? Well, let's look. BE is equal to DA, but is it equal to ED? No, it's not. So those are not congruent. Those are congruent. So if it asked is BE congruent to AD, that would have been congruent. Let's do a two-column proof here. We're given AB is equal to XY, and AB is parallel to XY. So let's go ahead and let's mark that AB congruent to XY, and they're also parallel. First step is given. So angle A is congruent to angle X. Alternate interior angles. Angle BCA is congruent to angle XCA, sorry, XCY. Those are vertical angles. AB equals XY. That's given. So triangles are congruent by angle, angle, side. Let's look at another two-column proof. We got some stuff that's already filled in there for us. BYA is a right angle, and then BA is equal to AC. So first step's given. So we know BYA is 90 degrees. That's definition of a right angle. BYA plus CYA equals 180. Well, that's definition of a linear pair. So we can do a little bit of substitution. I can substitute that 90 in for BYA. I can then do subtraction, get CYA equals 90 degrees. So I now proved that's a right angle. And thus, I've proved these two angles are congruent. I can do that again by doing some substitution. Substitute the CYA in there for 90. And I've proved they are congruent. Now, BA is equal to CA. That was given. YA equals YA, reflexive property. Remember, anytime something equals itself, that's the reflexive property. So now the two triangles are congruent by hypotenuse leg. And that is the end of this lesson.